Hello, my name is Samuel Waite, and this is XB3001 Jath. Jath is a third-person platformer based on the fable Tortoise and the Hare, where you play as the hare and need to team up with the tortoise to get home. You will have to basically go along the lines of slow and steady wins the race. So you have to be really quick sometimes, and then you have to slow down a bit more. And this is the menu. So you can either start, quit, or into controls. It has the mouse controls, so the mouse and keys controls on the left hand side, and on the right hand side we have the PlayStation controls and what each action does. So without further ado, let's begin. So Jath begins first with a little tutorial, but this up here is the timer. This over here is your collectibles you have, and then finally splashes. So instead of dying in this game, you have splashes, and each time you fall into the water, it's called a splash instead of a death. And so what's going to happen at the end of the game, you're going to have your collectible score, you're going to, and it's going to take away from that collectible score is this time and then the number of splashes as well. All times by 10, because each collectible is a bit, the minimum value is 10. So the first is WASD to move. So once I move WASD, I can use my mouse to look around. And so this first section, this little area, it indicates to the player straight ahead of you that there is a tube, big orange tube, which you need to go down, and around you can do some various puzzles and such, and jump around and collect all the various collectibles. There's lots of collectibles in the starting area, but again, so the sort of tension here is that you can either do it quicker, or you can go and try and collect all the collectibles as quick as you can in the starting area. And there's also different stages of collectibles. So red is the lowest, then it goes to green, then blue, then purple, then silver, then gold, and that's the levels of collectibles. Yeah, so there's some collectibles around here as well, and yeah. Then the player always seems to follow this, and then they learn that you can do left shift to sprint, and then you get to this section up here. And here you get introduced to the jump, so you have to jump, and then when you get to here you can do a long jump by left shift and space. If I try it, and without doing the long jump, then I will not make it, but if I try it with the long jump, I will make it. So these tutorials don't go away unless the player actually does it as well. And over here is a similar thing, and this introduces you to the water. This is how you get splashes. So if I fall off into the water, I'll start at the start, and as you can see in the top right corner, I have one splash. And then if I fall off again, I get a second one. And so this section, you can have to use a combination of sprint jumps and jumps to get around and win. So here's where you have a bit of choice. You can either go up this way, or you could have gone round this way and kicked up a few more collectibles. Now one is for speed and one is for your collectible count. Come around this big tube, and when they run down it, there's a chain of collectibles, and then there's a first silver collectible. And here is where you get introduced to the tortoise. So you can press E to pick up or drop the tortoise. Press E to pick them up, and then you can use Q to throw the tortoise. Now, when you throw the tortoise, you're going to throw it at this this button up here, because you can't jump over it. And when you have the tortoise, you can no longer sprint anymore. So you can only keep on. You can only sort of move normally, and you can only normally jump up places or whatnot. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw using pressing Q, and it will go up there, and then this will lower the barricade. Now, the intended game is that you have to bring the tortoise with you, but to stop this, in case someone doesn't, there's these lettuce walls. This idea was come up by one of our tutors, and they suggested to use lettuce wall. And so the tortoise can eat the lettuce, and this forces the player to always carry the tortoise with them. So if a player didn't do so, that means it will force players to pick up the tortoise, and they can go and eat the lettuce. And there's also, in some precarious places as well, there are also some gold collectibles which are worth quite a lot of collectible points. And so all the collectibles are also eggs, which I thought was quite amusing. So here's where you get introduced to the wall run. Now you can't wall run with the tortoise, as the pop-up will say. Instead you have to first throw the tortoise over, and then you'll go over to the button, then you can wall run across, and then here's where you get introduced to the wall jump. So if I just wall run, I won't just be able to get across normally. So instead, what I must do is wall run and jump across. And now I've got across. And again, I can't get through this barricade because I need to now throw the tortoise over here as well. Now, safe to say is whenever you see these large puddles of water, if the player falls off in them, they will teleport back up at the start of the, and they add some more splashes. And so here, this is where you get introduced quite a difficult wall run section. And so there's a lot of jumps you have to do, and a lot of tricks and things you have to do. It's used of extra collectibles. If you're very good at the game, you'll be able to collect those super collectibles on there. There's also a sneaky gold one down here, if the player wanted to. There's a little secret, a little reward for spending a bit more time. How to play against this. The reason why there is a silver one there is because this section was very hard, and I think I wanted to reward the player doing that. And now you could just leave the tortoise here, but again you won't be able to get through the lettuce. So it's instilling the player to always carry the tortoise with them. This is why all these jumps with here and over there were just single jumps. They weren't long jumps. And then so now the player can go through here and then come down this big tube into this final section. And in this final section we have across the way this big waterfall with a barricade above it, and then we have a button across the other side, and there's also a wall here. So if I a wall running or a wall here, so if I go and die, I can constantly get killed. Now what the player has to do to solve the puzzle, they have to press Q to lower him across, and then this will lower down. That slows down enough. It will kill the wall, and then the player can now wall run across. And then it reveals a secret thing underneath as well, which a player could get to normally, but they won't be able to get through because they need the tortoise. And they get the tortoise, and then what happens is they get to the end, and then the final score is this. So your egg value was this, your time was this, splashes was that, so your final score was 0 because this time and your splashes was greater than that. So if you restart the level or go back to the main menu, restart, everything's reset and you have to do the whole scenario again. But also you can press P and this pauses the game, so when you press play again you can start back up again. And you can restart or you can go back to the main menu. But yes, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.